Hi, it's Cory, and today we're looking at the Let's Play Ukulele Lesson 3. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to hold the ukulele to get yourself ready to be able to play. If you don't already, make sure you have your ukulele workbook. It is a supplemental guide that goes along with this video series, and it's available on my Teachers Pay Teachers, or if you're a member of my Patreon community, you can access the booklet there. It's available either to use digitally, or you can print it out and use it as a great ukulele building portfolio for yourself. Let's get started. So the first thing I want to say before we get into how to actually hold the ukulele, I'm presenting everything for a right-handed player. Now, some people do play ukulele as a lefty, and that's totally fine. It's not as common, and I do know a lot of players that are left-handed that just prefer to learn right. That way the standard chords are in the right position for them. If you are a left-handed player, everything that I'm about to say applies correctly for you. It's just in reverse. So the first thing you want to do is take your ukulele and make sure its head is pointed directly diagonally at 2 o'clock. If you can imagine yourself as a big clock, you want the head pointing at 2 o'clock. Also, you want the head pointed out just a little bit. You don't want it like completely up and back. If you have to look too much and turn your head to the side in order to see your head, it's gone too far. You want it out in front of you so you can just glance easily while it's pointing at 2 o'clock. If you're using a strap, which I do really recommend when you're first starting out, just because it helps keep it secure and you might not be ready to keep it up completely on your own. If you are using that strap, your ukulele is going to be set up a little bit higher up on your chest, like where I'm holding it. This is not where I prefer to hold it when I'm not using a strap. I keep it down by my hip a little bit more, but I have it up a little bit higher just to show you for the purposes of this video. So I have my head at 2 o'clock and my body of the ukulele is going to be flush against my chest. Or if you're sitting, it's going to be flush against the bottom of your chest and your stomach and resting on your right hip. Your left thumb is going to be placed on the back of the neck where the head and the neck meet. And then as you play different chords, you're gonna follow with your thumb down the neck in order to support your chord playing. If you have that thumb directly located behind where your fingers are placed on the fretboard to make the different chords, you're gonna get a lot more support when you're squeezing the strings against the fretboard in order to make the different chords. So your thumb staying there. If it peeks out a little bit on occasion, it's not that big of a deal, but you should really strive to keep your thumb behind the ukulele. Also, you want your arm up a little bit. It doesn't need to stay locked against your side. Be nice and relaxed. And then also when making the different chords, you're gonna be pivoting your wrist, just kind of pivot, not stretching, okay? Now when you have, because if your thumb is behind, you're gonna have so much room. I mean, like my thumb's here and I can almost wrap my entire hand around my ukulele. The problem people get into is when they rest their neck of the ukulele in between their thumb and their first finger, and then they can't reach very well, or it's awkward, or their hand cramps. Keep a lot of space between your fingers and the fretboard and you'll be fine. Because again, like I said in lesson 2, if you're using the tips of your fingers to create those chords, you're going to have lots of arches in your fingers, and that's what you want. You don't want straight fingers, you want arches. It's the same thing as if you're like using the piano or something. I always tell my students, I don't want ladders, I want bridges. So your thumb is behind the neck on the base of the head, and then you can make whatever chords you need. Also, when it's there and it's really well supported, you can just hold the ukulele with one hand because you have that much support. Next thing you're going to be doing is you're going to use your arm and keep the ukulele against your body here. If it's resting on your hip, it's not as essential, but if you have it up a little bit more, you're gonna keep that arm. And it's important to know that this is fine because a lot of times when people are starting with ukulele, they move their entire arm to strum, but really it's all in the wrist movement. When you are able to just strum using your wrist, You're able to strum faster, your arm doesn't get as tired, it's a lot more even of a strum as well. Finally, keeping your arm rested on the bottom of the body here, it also allows you to make sure you're strumming in the kind of the ukulele sweet spot. What that means is it is the area on the top of the sound hole through where the top of the body is. That's the area you really want to strum. It gets the nicest sound when strumming. I hope you found this helpful, and now you're gonna go to your ukulele workbook and fill out the guided notes so you can help solidify your knowledge. I will see you in lesson 4 when we start strumming the ukulele.